Hello everyone, it's your boy, the Fantasy Football Almanac, back at it with another best ball draft video. Today we're hopping in the Puppy 3 with the 11th pick here, $5 for the chance to win, let me see, $200,000 or $100,000 for second place, $1,000,000 in total prizes. So we're really hoping to win that $200,000 here by drafting a team with the absolute highest ceiling. Whatever the highest ceiling is, whatever the highest ceiling might be, fine with it, but that's what we got to go with. We got to go with a very high ceiling here. And if you are interested in best ball content, please go down, leave a like on this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. You won't regret it. Turn on the notification bell. And I have some great fantasy football content in your feed every single day, so that way you can be ready to crush your draft here, beat all your friends. It's not even going to be close. If you do subscribe here, you will easily have one of the best teams in your league. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. Here we got first three picks off the board: Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey, Justin Jefferson, and now Cooper Kupp coming off the board. All very interesting players. We are launching in, as I said, with pick 11 here. A pick I think is like pretty good. I mean, it's not great, but it's pretty good. You can end up with some decent players, but I just don't think. I think it's a little tough to end up grabbing value around pick 11 and pick 14. We probably will here be taking. I don't know, it's a little tough. We are in a predicament. We will have to see who falls to us. This is a very standard order here. This is actually almost the exact order I would draft in. Aside from maybe switch Cooper Kupp and Justin Jefferson, but I think these two guys, or even Jamar Chase could be considered here, are in a tier of their own. Definitely, I mean, just 100%. We got Dalvin Cook off the board here. We might get Derrick Henry. We do not. Here I may go Joe Mixon. Here I think I'm going to play Joe Mixon. And then go with Saquon Barkley here. Most likely, I think that's the best way of going through things. I think Saquon Barkley is absolutely a phenomenal talent. He does get sniped from us. And DeAndre Swift is off the board as well. We could go CD here, honestly. I don't really like taking. I mean, we're going to go CD here just for team building sake. I think it is smart. Just because we do get CD Lamb here. CD Lamb, an absolutely phenomenal player. Maybe I should have taken Saquon Barkley, knowing this guy's highly experienced and drafting for upside as well. But I think CD Lamb's a guy you could totally draft for upside, considering he's the only person in that offense. I mean, there really is nobody else he's competing for targets with, as we have Aaron Jones and Travis Kelce coming off the board. Najee Harris falling all the way to pick 17. The reason why I passed on Najee here, and I've been thinking a lot more about this, and I have been becoming like a fair amount lower on Najee as of late, is because he's going to get volume. I mean, that's 100% guaranteed. I think in best ball formats, he's lower than in redraft. I think in redraft, I would probably still have him as, the fifth running back off the board, something like that. But in best ball, I mean, he just doesn't have the same upside as these other players. Sure, he's going to be getting a ton of targets, but he's a volume-based running back who can't pop off for like 50 points because the Steelers team is just too bad. Every other player on this list, I think, or every other running back here could. Jonathan Taylor realistically could. I mean, we saw it last year. Christian McCaffrey, without a doubt. Austin Eckler, without a doubt. Dalvin Cook, also without a doubt. Derrick Henry, without a doubt. Joe Mixon, it is a little tough to see him going for 50, but he can easily put up 30, 35. Saquon Barkley, no doubt. DeAndre Swift, again, it is a little tough, but I would take Najee over DeAndre, personally. I mean, that's just how I feel. I think the community as a whole is getting a lot lower on Najee here, which is interesting to see. I'm not really too sure if it's for the same reasons that I just mentioned, but it is interesting. We get Alvin Kamara crawling up these boards here. Mark Andrews at pick 26. Oh my god. Oh my god, do I wish I had the first pick right now. Jonathan Taylor, Alvin Kamara, and Mark Andrews would have made my night. Oh my god. Would have been an insane team. Doesn't happen. Instead, we're staring at Joe Mixon and CD. It's okay. I cannot believe Mark Andrews is falling so far. I really don't get why exactly. I mean, I think Mark Andrews is an absolutely phenomenal player, and I think he had 1,300 yards last year. His situation only got better with no Hollywood Brown. I really don't understand. I mean, he's competing against Devin Duvernay and Rashad Bateman. That's part of the reason why Rashad Bateman's going so high, but it's a little different. We got Josh Allen coming off the board, pick 31. Nick Chubb at 32. Let's see who is on the board for us. I mean, if we could get DJ Moore here, I would be ecstatic with that. If not, yeah, DJ Moore does come off the board. So it is a good thing we got CD Lamb because, I mean, these running backs that are on the board are just really, really good. We may go James Conner here. I think James Conner's probably the pick. I think ETN is about to be off the board here, though. Even though this guy has taken 2 running backs, it is possible he does take a third here. He does go ETN. I should have known, but I probably... I mean, you got to assume he's most likely going to go ETN. And then we're probably going to take... torn between Waddle and Hollywood here. I think both are interesting values, but I think we'll go Jalen Waddle here because I do own more Hollywood. And now Hollywood is kind of going to be falling down draft boards with the news that he did get arrested for speeding, which is a little bit unfortunate for our draft stock. But what can you do? You can't predict that stuff. It's just absolutely impossible. I mean, I didn't look through his SAT scores or nothing. I didn't look through his criminal records before I drafted him, so it's my bad, guys. My bad. Either way, we got Hollywood Brown coming off the board at 39. I mean, there's some value falling, but not to me, really, which is a little bit unfortunate. I think James Conner is a really, really good player, though. I think this team has the pedigree to win the championship, but I don't think this team has the pedigree to win the $200,000 so far with the way we've drafted. I just don't think the ceiling is high enough, personally. So we're going to be taking some shots. We're definitely going to be... It's like we're at a club in college. We're going to be taking shots here. Not the type of shots that get you lit. Actually, maybe the type of shots that get you lit. I mean, depending on how you feel about Chris Godwin and Darnell Mooney, I think this definitely cause to be excited. Chris Godwin, somebody I think will be dropping again because there is news he might not be ready to play week 1, which is, I mean, honestly, it stinks for fantasy football, but in terms of getting him at a value, I mean, very, very glad to see him go to potential value here. I mean, I would rather have him than a lot of other guys on this list that are going ahead of him. I really don't understand why. I mean, I do. It's just because of his, torn ACL and coming back, but I think overall as a whole, he's a very, very talented player. One of the most talented in the entire league. The wide receiver, too. Chris Godwin coming off the board, pick 49. That's painful. That's really painful. See, I mean, this team would have been sick if you just had Mark Andrews here, and then you had Jerry Jeudy and Chris Godwin coming off the board at 49 and 50. I mean, that would just be insane. Most likely we're going to end up... I'm surprised David Montgomery's falling so far. I think he actually is seeing special teams reps. That's funny. I think we will see him drop here, though. We got Kittle on the board, who we like. We got Rashad Bateman, who we like. We got Mooney, who we like. Amari Cooper. That's an interesting swing, but we like. We might be waiting on quarterback a bit. Bateman off the board. We might be waiting on quarterback a bit. We're 5 picks away, and there's players we really like here. I really hope Kittle falls. I don't think he will, though. I imagine somebody will take Brandon Cooks, so I don't have to, so I wouldn't be forced to talking myself into, oh, he's such a value. Because he is. He's such a value. But he just feels so gross to take. I mean, you're never happy after you take Brandon Cooks. George Kittle off the board here. If he does fall to me at 59, it's possible I could justify in my head. I think I would maybe go Mahomes here. Just because he is going at such a value. I could even talk myself into Mahomes and Hurts, but probably wouldn't. Most likely I'm going to be taking one of these 2 guys with my first pick. Michael Thomas, guy, has been floating up boards a ton. Michael Thomas. Okay, so we do have Pat Mahomes off the board here. It's a little bit unfortunate. But we're going to go with Darnell Mooney here, most likely, unless we're sniped. If we're sniped, I mean, I would say DK, you got to take him here, although I don't like taking DK. Very much at all. I think DK is, in terms of talent, like, insanely talented, so. DK comes off the board. We're going to go Darnell. Get our 3rd wide receiver. This wide receiver core is actually fucking insane. I really like this wide receiver core. And then we get Amari Cooper, potentially, to add, to bolster. I mean, unless this guy goes Amari Cooper and Jalen Hurts, I'm happy with whoever we get here. I imagine, usually the highly experienced people, I'm imagining they'll take Amon-Ra here, potentially. I just don't know who they'll take with the 2nd pick. But the highly experienced people do usually tend to draft a little differently, a little less towards ADP. Amon-Ra, I was right, unless that was auto draft, which I don't think it was, because he did take Saquon Barkley and all them before. And ETN ahead of ADP, Allen Robinson ahead of ADP. So no, he's not on auto draft here. He does go Kyler Murray, so we are going to take Amari Cooper here. If Amari Cooper is attached to Deshaun Watson, which, I mean, that's the hope if you're taking him, it is possible Deshaun Watson is suspended the whole year. And I mean, that sucks. It is possible. Uh, because they're seeking a 1 year suspension here. And yes, that is true. They are seeking a 1 year suspension. Just to read over the notes. But just because they're seeking it doesn't mean it's going to come through. One, because, I mean, Deshaun Watson's team is arguing for 0 games, and the NFLPA is arguing with Deshaun Watson, whereas the NFL itself is arguing against it. So, I mean, it is possible he is suspended the whole year. Personally, I see a compromise in terms of show where Deshaun Watson's suspended 8 games now instead of 6. Just like, oh, the league put in more effort to try and stop it. Or condone this player. That's my thought process personally. Obviously, it's different for everybody. But the thing is, it's like the same thing with Alvin Kamara. When Alvin Kamara was going in the late 30s, almost in the 4th round. I mean, to me, it just doesn't make any sense because they haven't officially been penalized yet. Uh, I mean, obviously, Deshaun Watson has to an extent, but he really hasn't been fully penalized. Jalen Hurts coming off the board at the 6'10". That's my philosophy on it. Trey Lance all the way at 67. I was really hoping to get him 83 here. Doesn't happen, though. I mean, Jalen Hurts coming off the board at pick 70. That's really pretty surprising. I mean, that's a value I would have loved to have scooped. I think the beginning of these drafts are absolutely insane. Hey, like, these picks are just ridiculous. I don't really understand how this much value has been falling to them. But I won't complain. I think we do have a really, really good roster as a whole. We could use another RB here. I mean, but that's not like terrible. We could use another RB, but not awful. We probably will. It just depends on who falls to us. Whether Alan Lazard, if Alan Lazard somehow falls to us, I mean Alan Lazard, future Hall of Famer according to Aaron Rodgers. Oh wow, is Russ off the board? Russ is off the board. So yeah, hopefully we can get future Hall of Famer Alan Lazard at a discount. Probably not going to happen, but it is possible. It is very, very possible. Brandon Ayuk off the board all the way at pick 74. Wow, okay. Interesting. Devonta Smith at 75. Pretty glad getting these guys off that I don't really like, that I'm not really a fan of here. I mean, I would say I don't like Devonta Smith at all this year. Alan Lazard coming off the board at 77. Adam Thielen. Kadarius Toney. DeAndre Hopkins still on the board, though. It's pretty interesting to see that he is still on the board. A little surprising, but not too much of a surprise, considering people are probably fading him due to his injury concerns. I mean, I could at least consider it here. We do have, oh no, we don't. We didn't even draft him. Never mind. We may go with, Antonio Gibson here, just because I think he's got to be a value at this point. Or maybe, yeah, we probably should go Antonio Gibson here if he's still available, which it is entirely possible he is, just to get our third back here. But then I really like taking Dak Prescott after this because we do have CD, so it is a nice stack. And, I mean, we're not really getting him at a value, but, I mean, at this point, it's not really too big of a deal if we're not getting him at a value. Antonio Gibson goes off the board, okay. Tom Brady coming off the board as well. I kind of like taking Tony Pollard here, honestly. Tony Pollard, the real reason I think I really like him now is because he's getting a lot of looks at wide receiver. I was kind of fading him because, I mean, I looked at him more of as a backup, but now that he's getting looks at wide receiver, and he is, still at least a pretty serviceable back, I think Tony Pollard's at least a somewhat decent option. And obviously, if Zeke goes down, that would be absolutely insane for us. And then we're going to have an insane Dallas stack. Like, I'm pretty much rooting for Dallas's offense, which kind of hurts for me because I'm a Giants fan, but what can you do? You gotta take an L sometimes. We also have Amari Cooper, another former Dallas Cowboy. If only we could have taken Dalton Schultz. Get an insane Cowboys stack here. We're probably going to go Dak, though. Unless Dak somehow comes off the board. Because because we really don't have a quarterback yet. Miles Sanders comes off here, and let's see who is second. I don't like Hunter Renfrow at all since that a preseason opener. Cool, I guess. Um, I don't understand why people are as high on Hunter Renfrow as guys who could potentially be the wide receiver one in their offense. Because obviously Hunter Renfrow is not going to be the wide receiver one, but Chris Olave at least has potential to be. If Michael Thomas goes through whatever bullshit he's going through yet again, it is entirely possible. Hunter Renfrow is off the board. We're gonna take Dacky Poo here. Dacky Poo. So we get Dak here. Who I do like, even though he's not really at a value. We do have a lot of week 9 buys here, which is a little unfortunate. Um, pretty much all of our teams gonna stink up the bed week 9. But that's okay. Like I said, I think it is better to be drafting. We'll probably end up going with, I mean, I hope one of these 3 quarterback falls. I do think that Aaron Rodgers, I'm telling you, take him now. I mean, guy's an absolutely insane quarterback. One of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, if not the best. And he's going at 112 behind a guy like Derek Carr, a guy who's never thrown 30 touchdowns in a single season in his career. I mean, yes, he does have Devontae Adams now. But I just can't see Aaron Rodgers doing that much worse. I mean, he's coming off back-to-back MVP seasons. Obviously, Devontae Adams is really, really talented. But I still think that Aaron Rodgers, going into his age 38 season, has to be a value here. Anyways, we got Treylon Burke coming off the board. We got the Tennessee wide receivers going back-to-back. Treylon Burke, Robert Woods. I think that is pretty smart. I don't really know where I draft. I mean, realistically, if I had to wager money on who was going to be the wide receiver one, I would put the money on Robert Woods personally, just because he is the veteran. But Treylon Burks could very, very easily lead this team in receiving. As a rookie, which is crazy. I mean, you're probably not getting that much passing volume because, it's Ryan Tannehill. Not a guy you expect a ton of passing volume from. But I mean, he's a decent quarterback at least. I mean, 2 years ago and 3 years ago, he looked like one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Right? Maybe I wouldn't go that far, but he looked really, really freaking good. And then last year, he totally burned everyone. I mean, it's possible we could expect to see the Ryan Tannehill of old back because I mean the arm talent's still definitely there. His arm talent, when he wants to put a ball somewhere, he can put it somewhere like almost no other quarterback in the entire NFL. Obviously, there are quarterbacks with more arm talent, but he's got ridiculously good arm talent. Russell Gage coming off the board. Again, like I've said, he's starting to become a value here. Now that Julio Jones is there, he has fallen a ton. A guy who was formerly going at like pick 70. A guy I wasn't really liking there, even though I realistically I probably should have liked him there. I didn't really like him there. But now falling all the way to pick 96 when you have a 33-year-old Julio Jones coming into your offense who, I mean, you really just can't be worried about. I mean, you can. It's Julio Jones, of course, but at 33 years old, it is pretty scary. I'm not going to lie. It's hard. It's really, really hard to like a guy there. I mean, when you're 33 years old. We do have James Cook and Stafford coming off the board. I would imagine it's not happening because this guy doesn't have a tight end and this guy doesn't have a tight end, but Goddard would be pretty cool right about now. I would have liked James Cook as well. That was somebody I was kind of hoping to fall, but it's okay. Maybe even if I double up with Dallas Goedert and Dawson Knox. So not going to happen. It's okay. I honestly don't think we're going to get a Dallas Goedert here. I think I don't even know how to say this guy's name. It's going to snipe us. But I honestly have been rethinking Dallas Goedert. I do think he's a better tight end than I was giving him credit for initially. I think in terms of talent, I mean, he definitely has talent. Zach Ertz coming off the board here. In terms of talent, he 100% has talent. Very, very talented tight end. I just don't like the situation that much. I mean, I'm a little hesitant. Dallas Goedert comes off the board here. Kind of putting us in a really, really tough situation. I don't really like any of these guys. Just to be 100% honest. And I really don't like any of these guys. I probably will go Chase Claypool here. We're going to go Chase Claypool, and then we're going to go Rondo Moore in the next round, most likely. But it is a little painful doing that. I really have not drafted any Chase Claypool, just because I'm a little concerned with their offense. I mean, realistically, Deontay just signed back for 2 years. Also, I mean, George Pickens, you got on the come up. Calvin Austin, you got on the come up. And you got Mitch Trubisky or Kenny Pickett starting. Realistically, I mean, how good is Chase Claypool going to be with those players? I mean, he's going to catch more touchdowns this year than last year. He just has to. There's no way around it. But I just can't see Chase Claypool getting to that ceiling projection that I would really, really like him to be at for drafting him in this position. Uh, Honestly, I probably should have gone Jalen Tolbert. Maybe we do go Jalen Tolbert here, and I want to go Jalen Tolbert here, but the thing is, we already have CD, and we already have Tony Pollard. And it would be a pretty substantial reach in terms of ADP. It would be a 9-pick reach. So people are going to have better combinations with the same players. I'm going to really, really hope, I don't think he will, but really, really hope he falls to us at 131. We got Aaron Rodgers coming off the board at 111, meaning we're definitely just going to have to take Deshaun Watson here late. We'll probably take him a pick 155 or so. I don't think we should take him next round. I think next round we're going to hope to get Christian Watson, although I think this Aaron Rodgers team is going to snipe us. We got Julio Jones coming off the board at pick 112. Wow. Oh my God. Kenneth Walker, a guy really falling down boards. Tyler Boyd, a guy I don't understand at all. I mean, he did have 800 yards last year and the year before that, which is pretty surprising, but I mean, his targets can really only go down. It's just pretty much what it is. His ceiling is not that high at the end of the day. And I'm just trying to draft the highest ceilings. That's really about it. Draft the highest ceilings. I'm telling you guys, draft the highest ceilings in these best ball leagues. I'm not trying to win. My philosophy is I'm not trying to win $5 for 33,000th place. I'm not trying to win $6 for 21,000th place. Or any of this stuff, $10 for 5,000th place. We're trying to get first place and first place only, or top 10, I guess. I mean, I would certainly be fine winning $5,000. Honestly, it is pretty interesting to see. And if you guys are enjoying this video, please go down, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know how you think I did, and subscribe. Please, if you could subscribe, it would really mean the world to me. I mean, it would make my freaking day. Love you guys. And you guys can join the giveaway as well if you do subscribe, and go down below and comment #bestball. Giving away $50 to Underdog Fantasy. Totally not sponsored or anything, but just out of the kindness of my own heart, I wanted to stimulate a little bit more underdog drafting because it is really, really fun. I love it. Maybe draft against me one time. We'll get in a league together and we all draft together. I mean, that would just be awesome. Either way, though, I think this is really interesting. We are almost halfway through the puppies, and the puppies are just $5. So $5, you do it once a night or something like that, really, really casual. But it is pretty cool to see. I mean, if I could get, 5th place or something like that and get 30K, or 4th and get 40K, like I'm more than fine with that, Invest that into the market or something. We do have Jalen Tolbert coming off at his ADP, unfortunately. Here, there's a few guys we like. Dameon Pierce crawling up, Joshua Palmer crawling up. We got a lot of guys who have been coming up due to the training camp reports, everything like that. Jacoby Myers coming up at pick 124. That does seem early for him. We do have Christian Watson still on the board, though, and Gallup. I mean, at this point, we probably should go with Gallup and Christian Watson here if they do make it. The problem is we need tight ends, and if we do this, we're going to be passing on tight ends pretty heavily here. I think I probably should actually go tight end here, just because it's a positional need. I mean, if we were to go Irv Smith and Cole Kmet here, double up, we just don't have to worry for the rest of the draft, these positions. Although, Irv Smith, I am a little worried about his hand, but he is expected to be ready for the start of the season, so I think Irv Smith is a pretty good value. It still is nerve-wracking, just to monitor a situation like that, because you never know if his hand is fully ready. I mean, it's expected to be ready, but until we get the news that it's 100% ready, I think it is smart to fade him just a tad bit, just a little bit. But I think if we do get him here, Irv Smith and Cole Kmet, my one concern is after this, like, tight end position absolutely dries up. I mean, maybe we go Njoku in the next round here. Maybe we do something like that. Do. uh, what I'll probably end up doing is, realistically, I'll take Christian Watson here. Over Gallup, I think, just all things considered. Or maybe we just go both Christian Watson and Gallup and then hope to get Njoku. I have been hammering Njoku. I've been taking Njoku a ton here. We got Naheem Hines off the board. I don't know. I'm a little torn, to be 100% honest. Please let me know down below what you guys would do in this situation. Whether you guys would take Irv Smith, Cole Kmet, Christian Watson, or Michael Gallup. Or if there's a guy I'm just completely missing on. Let's say you guys really like Ronald Jones. Someone like that. We are in a position, we probably are going to take Irv Smith here. I think Irv Smith's probably our best bet. And then see who he goes. Because we do have two wide receivers we really like and a tight end we really like. So either way, I can't be too mad. And there are a lot of wide receivers I really, really like late. So, I mean, I'm good drafting some of these guys a little later. Because we do have a really, really good, we have a really strong wide receiver core, honestly. So I think Cole Kmet's probably the move here, all things considered. As long as he does not off the board. Let's see where Rent-Free goes. He goes with Cole Kmet. Ripping our hearts out. Oh, it's brutal. Oh, it's brutal. I mean, here, realistically, we should go Gallup for the stack. Christian Watson's my guy, so we probably will take Christian Watson here. Actually, I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, it probably is really good to have the stack, even though week 9 is going to absolutely screw us in the ass. Or this guy goes Christian Watson, maybe, and just, yeah, he does. Okay, that stinks, but makes our decision a little easier. I would have preferred if you went Gallup, honestly, just so I would have the excuse to take Christian Watson here. Because Christian Watson's definitely a value, but it doesn't happen. Realistically, I probably should have taken Christian Watson pick 131. My main concern, though, is that he's going to continue to fall. I mean, he's been in a free fall since the draft process has started. Since the best ball draft process has started. So, I mean, I think he's going to continue to fall. And that's kind of why I'm a little more hesitant. Especially because, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is a very timing-based quarterback. Aaron Rodgers loves to trust his wide receivers, and he loves to be the one to do it himself. And he has been talking up Romeo Doubs night and day. I mean, that's a little scary, I'm not going to lie. It's honestly really, really scary. Because I do own so many Christian Watson shares. I should have been drafting more Dobbs, to be honest, just with the philosophy that whoever the wide receiver 2 is in that offense is going to absolutely feast. I mean, it's not going to be Samuel Watkins. I think everyone knows that. And then Allen Lazard's the wide receiver 1, but that's obviously why he's going at pick 75, you know. I honestly think Allen Lazard's one of the biggest values I've ever seen. It's actually ridiculous how much of a value. It's ridiculous how much of a value Allen Lazard is. If he ends up being the wide receiver 1, I mean, taking him here at pick 77 is crazy. It's actually mind-blowing. It's possible. I could say after Amari Cooper, justifying taking Allen Lazard. That's how much I think benefiting from Aaron Rodgers at the helm is actually insane. And I mean, somebody has to get the ball. Somebody has to. It's just a matter of who you think it's going to be, whether it's Romeo Doubs, Sammy Watkins, Allen Lazard. But take shots on all these guys. Take shots on absolutely everyone. I think Christian Watson's still one of my guys, but I have tempered expectations just a tad bit, just because of the news that's been coming out and the injury. I mean, you can never really predict injuries, you know. But we still have Tyler Algier on the board, Freiermuth, Deshaun Watson, a lot of guys I like. And we do need one more back here. I really, really like the build of this team. I'm a little concerned with Irv Smith, but other than that, Deshaun Watson coming off the board here at pick 145. A little tough, honestly. Considering this guy has absolutely 0 stacks to take him with. I mean, come on. Trevor Lawrence, pick 146. So there is two guys we like here, and I mean, I would be fine with Njoku, although I wish we did have a QB here. Maybe we... I don't know. It's kind of tough. Again, let me know what you guys would do down in the comments below. I am pretty curious, because, I mean, I feel like I have been getting kind of screwed out of value here. I imagine there's no way Tyler Algier drops to us, but if he does, that would be awesome. Because we do need a fourth back pretty freaking badly. But we actually really need one. We kind of neglected it. Isaiah McKenzie off the board? Okay, interesting. Michael Carter off the board? Oh, this guy's definitely tight. Carter the power. And he gets sniped. And he had Breece Hall. Oh, this man is in pain. He goes, the Big O here. The original Big O. There is no other Big O's in any other sport. Then we got Detuno. Going KJ Hamler. Wow. Okay. So we could get Tyler Algier here. I should not have said that, because now I'm definitely going to get sniped on Tyler Algier. I have it coming, honestly. I'm not mad if he snipes me, because I said it out loud. But this guy's got a pretty good RB room, honestly. I like his RB room. I do. His wide receivers are okay, though. His tight end's not terrible. But we do get Tyler Algier here. A guy who I really like. A guy who is potentially walking into starting volume almost right away. When you have something like that, you can't be too mad. We're probably going to take Njoku here next round. A guy who I think right away will probably not have the biggest opportunity, but, you know, with Deshaun Watson out. But when Deshaun Watson comes back, a guy who could easily be an every down starter. Again, preparing for full-time duty. He had 500 yards last year with Baker Mayfield. I mean, we're talking Baker Mayfield here. And not a threat, not somebody who's really that good. He goes James Robinson here, a guy who has been getting hyped up in training camp reports a ton. And it's honestly pretty disgusting. I mean, it's James Robinson, a guy who tore his Achilles. I mean, it is a great story hearing James Robinson is potentially back, but I just don't understand how it's even possible that he's still being talked about, that he's still being drafted. Travis Etienne is a guy they took in the first round. I know it's a different coaching staff, but a guy they took in the first round of the NFL draft, a guy who played with Trevor Lawrence. So if they like Trevor Lawrence, they definitely wanted to hook him up with a guy like Travis Etienne. So I mean, I just think Travis Etienne's a much more talented running back. He's gonna be getting all the valuable touches. If Etienne does go down, however, I mean, James Robinson will automatically send. Just like all these backups, that you can make a case for literally every single one of these backups. I guess not really anymore, but if Dave Montgomery goes down, Khalil Herbert's got it. If J.K. Dobbins goes down, Gus Edwards probably actually doesn't have it, because, I mean, guy's in absolute pain from a torn ACL, and a terribly torn ACL at that. So I'm a little concerned for Gus Edwards. I mean, a guy I would never even consider taking, just because the path to upside is so tough, and even if it does hit, he doesn't get any passing down work. I mean, I took him in the redraft last year in my home league, actually, and he tore his ACL the next day. I mean, that was painful. But I looked at it as like it was the backfield all to himself, 1,000%, and he was healthy. We got Romeo Dobbs off the board. Wow. I'm hoping to get Peoples. Actually, I don't know if I should really be buying into any more of this this Cleveland Browns offense, just because we do have Amari Cooper and Njoku here. Both are values, or I guess one at value and one at not, but I mean, realistically, the only other thing we need is potentially a third tight end, but we really need another quarterback. I mean, I would love Daniel Jones here. I think the odds that Daniel Jones falls is really low. But really low still means possible. The only problem is Dak and Daniel Jones both have a week 9 bye, which kind of blows, but at this point, I'll probably end up taking like Carson Wentz in the second last round. Or Baker, one of those guys. Just because I think it's smart to get one of those guys really late, because they're still like decent players. I mean, I think Daniel Jones is just nice because, you know, he's a very talented runner. And that's what I think matters in fantasy football a lot more. Van Jefferson comes off the board. Wow, quarterbacks are falling, though, so I can't really be too mad if I don't get my guy Daniel Jones. So that's been a pretty interesting draft so far. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. If you guys are still watching, please subscribe as well, and leave this video a like if you do enjoy. It really does mean the world to me. Every single subscriber, every single like, every single comment that I've received. I mean, really, it does mean the world to me. So even if you think this team is dog shit, absolute trash, I mean, which you might think it is. I mean, it is possible. You know, people like different players. Go down, leave a comment, tell me why you think this team is trash. Tell me why you think this team is dog shit. Yeah, as Daniel Jones comes off the word pick 171. Um, Let me know down below. Let me know what you guys think. This team, I do like it though. I mean, our only weakness, I guess we have two. Tight end. I wouldn't even really consider Dak a weakness, but I mean, he's not a strength by any means. I mean, but he can pop off. He can give me 5 touchdowns in a game. So I think Dak's at least meh. You know, definitely not a strength, but definitely not much of a weakness. He's a below average quarterback one according to ADP, and we're gonna have a much below average quarterback two as well. That is okay. None of these running backs I like anymore. We'll probably take Peoples. Just because he's one of the best wide receivers on the board. Corey Davis is, I mean, dog shit. I don't think anybody really considers Corey Davis to even be a decent player at this point. I don't think so at all. So we get Donovan Peoples here, most likely. The only other, no, we're gonna go with Donovan Peoples here. So now we have 8 phenomenal wide receivers. Oh, he gets a pick again too. I might go Higbee here. No, I can't justify that. I really don't honestly know who I want. I think wide receiver is probably the move, though. I think wide receiver is most definitely the move, and I think the wide receiver we're going to be targeting is Devin Duvernay here. Oh, he got hurt 6 hours ago, but he's closing in on return, so can't be too mad. He goes Higbee here. So we're going to take Devin Duvernay here, most likely. I think the only other player I can make a case for is Watkins or Fuller. Don't want AJ Green. And we get our 9th receiver, and then we're pretty much, honestly, done with drafting. I'll let you guys know who I take in the last 2 rounds down below in the comments, but I think for now, I think we're pretty much good. I mean, after this, it really just gets to the point where we're probably going to be taking somebody like Baker Mayfield, somebody like Carson Wentz, maybe another tight end even. We might even take 2 QBs, but I'll let you guys know down below in the comments. Here we're going to be taking Devin Duvernay. That is it for this video. I really hope you guys do enjoy the fantasy baseball content as much as I do. And please go down, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys all really have a great night and enjoy the rest of your lives.